Hello lads, ladettes, and lassies. Welcome back to another week of Kill La Kill. My name is Josh, and this is an interesting series, to say the very least. Last episode, we were met with this needle gun master. He showed Ryoko who's boss with that needle gun. He took on like the entire, no, not the entire school. He took on like 100 of the school's staff or faculty, students. It was pretty wild. He was the trap master. He got Ryoko down. Seiyukets. Am I saying that right? Am I right? Yeah. No, Senkets. My bad. Senkets. Jumped off of Ryoko, like a sacrifice play, telling her to run, which completely blew. What's this guy? I think his name's Trigger. What was his name? Sumoya? Maybe? I can't remember. The episode name was Trigger, but it completely blew Nailgun's mind because he has this thing where he thinks these bodysuits are supposed to be against people. I think maybe his wife, girlfriend, or daughter, someone important died to one of these Goku uniforms, and he's got this vendetta against them. But this blew his mind that one would actually willingly sacrifice itself to protect their wearer for completely non-selfish reasons. And I think he heard it speak to him, which also blew his mind. And now he's going to leave her alone. But before we get into this episode, after that odd recap, there needs to be like a thing where someone professionally gives a rundown of a random episode of Kill La Kill to some guy that's never seen anime. So what do you think of that synopsis of the episode? And there's like, I would love to see their face of that. But before we get into this episode, we actually have quite a few comments. I know, I'm responding to them relatively early in a video. I mean, I respond to your comments as soon as you guys upload them or post them onto YouTube, but due to pre-recording and all that jazz, sometimes it takes a while to respond to them in a video, or sometimes I even respond to them in like separate DLC videos. But yeah, episode 1 came out like 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago actually. So I've got some comments right here for you lads, from you lads. So let's just get right into reading them. I forgot my water. Wait, did I? How did I forget, man? That was fun to watch. The Goku uniforms are not a reference to Dragon Ball though. They wrote Goku with the character for extreme or climax. I love this so much, and it also has a much deeper story than its ecchi exterior lets on. Edit. Also, the whole Goku thing isn't a reference. I can't remember what it means in Japanese for the life of me, but yeah, it's sadly not a Dragon Ball reference. Meh. Biggest missed opportunity right there. But yeah, I mean, the first episode, I thought that Goku was just a because it's a power suit, and Goku's supposed to be the most powerful. I forgot the light. It's a power suit, so Goku's supposed to be like the most powerful thing in anime. So I thought like that was indeed like a reference to it. But no, according to Tuxedo Mask, like it just means extreme or climax. So it does reference to power, but not in the character, just in Japanese. And I'm glad that you guys are enjoying the series. I'm glad I started watching it, and I would never start watching it without you lads. But yeah, I mean, that threw me for a loop. I just totally thought it was a reference. I thought I was being a little self-aware, but no. I was the one that was the fool. I was caught in the trap of what I thought was a Dragon Ball reference. But because in fact it was a JoJo reference! I definitely think you'll enjoy this. And yeah, it's similar to Gurren for sure. Mako best girl. Her friendship with Ryoko is adorable. I can definitely see the Gurren Lagann effect on the. It's just there's just like the style, like the art styles are different, yes, but there's like the style and animation, very exaggerated. Like the way the characters react in certain scenes, like Gurren Lagann, it can get so serious at times, but then you have like the classic anime character reactions, and though it doesn't take away from the seriousness. There's kind of like that style is like, oh, like big eyes, mouth like wide open. And you could definitely see the hints of that within this show. So that immediately makes me love it even more, or at least it makes me like it even more because I loved Gurren Lagann so much. So it just endears me to the whole kill aesthetic, like the art style. It kind of reminds me of Gurren, but like, it's the action, the character expressions, how they like implement those character expressions throughout the episode that I've seen so far. So I'm just excited to see more of whatever Kill la Kill is. Ah yes, the nostalgia hits kinda hard. It's from the same people, but from a different studio if I'm not wrong. Gurren is Gainax, so Eva and Fulikuli. Kill la Kill is Studio Trigger. So they are different studios, but Trigger is a studio formed by the former Gainax employees, so a lot of the style is similar. And thus, like, like I said, the style very similar, and I thought for sure when I was going into it, it was the same studios, but it's the same people, different studios. So Studio Trigger is like the spiritual successor of Gainax, and Gainax I did not know made, what was it, Eva and Fulikuli? Like, Fulikuli, you could definitely see those expressions. Like, I've done a reaction series on that, like the first 6 episodes, or the first season, I think. Yeah, character expressions. Like, if this show's a 10, that is a 100, and it's just whack, but beautiful. And then Evangelion, for the time it was made, even though I might have my problems with like the story and all that, it's really timeless in the animation, in my opinion. Like, the animation, it can hold up to like today, and it's not like old anime where like you watch an episode of Naruto, or one of the older episodes of Dragon Ball Z, or not Dragon Ball, it's just Dragon Ball. One of the older episodes of Dragon Ball, you can tell like, yeah, it's a little like it's dated, but Eva, I think like you can go, like the quality's dated, or like the resolution's dated, but the quality is up there, like Cowboy Bebop.
Don't lose your way.
I don't know where you're watching this, but the signed text translations are pretty bad. They didn't even bother translating Boxing Club President Fukunora's first move. But more importantly, Ryoko's finishing move, Seni Soshiron, a Japanese pun which better subtitles have translated as stripped of the will to fight, because it literally strips them of their clothing, is translated here as fiber lost. While technically correct, I fear whatever version you're watching, the puns, probably a lot more, are going to be lost in translation. So the version I'm watching is the Netflix version, which, I believe you can set your subtitles differently? I'm not sure, but yeah, what you're saying, there's like definitely like, not even mistranslations, just like lacking of translations. I don't know if that's like a dub thing, or perhaps maybe it's like a Netflix thing. If you guys know if there's like, let's say Hulu has better translations, or Funimation, I don't even know if it's on Funimation, or Funimation has better translations, or it's more accurate translations in the dub, let me know down in the comments below, and we'll see if we can fix that. But yeah, I'm watching on Netflix, and that would explain, or like not explain, but that's how I'm watching it. Translation issues, it could be Netflix's sub, could just be a dub sub thing. Who knows? The world, we never know. But I'm actually, this is going to segue perfectly into the next action, but honestly, I am not really noticing, I didn't notice that. I think this show is already funny enough. So what you just it's kind of like what you just said there. It's like a nice little behind the scenes thing, or a nice little tidbit of extra knowledge. But yeah, the dub, I think it's perfectly wacky enough that you don't even miss it. But like these just push it even more into ridiculousness, and I just love that people are out there going, "Hey, this is what you missed in the sub." So it's just little things like that. If I rewatched this in sub, I probably wouldn't even notice that it was lacking in the dub. Gotta admit, I really wish you heard the original Japanese voices. They had a lot of intensity to the plot. However, this is not bad. Great content, man.
円弱伊豆くんぞ広告の志は知らんや
I can never remember who Satsuki's voice actor is, but she absolutely nails that speech of her putting on Genketsu.
Ask not the sparrow how the eagle soars!
And
I shall make it bow to my will!
are the two lines that really stuck out to me. Satsuki is pure badass. So I decided to read those two comments together because I find, like, one is like, the sub, I wish you heard the sub, and the other one's like, the dub is pretty good. But I'm glad that, let me check out your name real quick. I'm glad that Tunaz Verdes, like, I'm glad that you're able to actually like the dub, because I know that there's some people that go like, sub, purely that, even if it's a good dub, I will never admit it. But the fact that you're able to like go, you know what, I prefer the sub, but the dub is not that bad. I mean, I love that. It's so nice not to, like, occasionally I get like, oh, sub's better in the comments below, but I never feel like you lads are just going, only sub, sub elite. Because while I can agree that some subs are better than the English voice actors, like, in my opinion, for My Hero Academia, I prefer Deku's sub voice actor, but I like his English voice actor. But like, I could go like, you know, like, but I love Bakugo's dub voice actor, like the English one, and his sub's pretty good. So like, I can take and choose, like, you know, I like this element of the sub, but I love this of the dub, and vice versa. So I'm glad that you lads aren't like just going like, do the sub, do the sub, do the sub. And for anyone curious, sometimes I do actually rewatch scenes or episodes in the sub, like Decular. That is an unfortunate combo of names. Deku versus Muscular. I've watched that. I've just watched the episode quite a few times in the dub. Like, it's one of my favorite episodes, or at least one of my favorite scenes in the series. But I've seen it so many more times in the sub, and I've watched My Hero through and through dub. That was the first time I watched it. These are my voices. Just the sub voice actor for Deku in that scene. I feel so sorry for his vocal cords, but he destroys it. Like, I can feel everything that he's putting in, even though it's in a different language. Like, sometimes that's a thing with me in sub. Like, I can go, oh, okay, so like, unless, you know, it's very exaggerated. Like, oh, okay, they're obviously crying in agony because I can see it on their face. But like, sometimes like the little things, like little speech patterns, you miss in subs if it's not exaggerated. But like, oh my, like, So I think when I'm done with Kill la Kill, the Ask Not How the Sparrow Soars, I think that's definitely going to be a speech that I go to rewatch in the sub, just to see how it goes. I'm sure there's going to be many more moments throughout this series that I'm like, you know what? I want to see how that sounds in the sub. Or I'm curious how the English voice actor like adapted this into the sub, or what was changed and all that. Because, you know, I'm actually slightly interested in like the whole voice acting stuff. So just like seeing how different interpretations go, what gets cut out, what gets translated from Japanese into English. And very interesting. Again, another thing with the sub for My Hero Deku versus Muscular, the dialogue, it's different. Like the same meaning gets across both ways, but they say it like they literally say different words. So it's very interesting. If you lads haven't like gone to compare sub and dub, just do it for fun. It can really change your point of view for characters and series, and just like the moment itself. I recommend checking it out just to do it for the lulz. Don't do it like, oh, sub is so much better. Just to go, oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like that. Yeah, like fun times. Intensely silly. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good description of the show. I mean, there's a reason I saved that one for last, because I don't know what to expect from this episode. This is one of the shows, like Gurren Lagann, I can go, okay, I think they're gonna go in this direction, probably this direction. There's so many ways you can take it. You can play around within your mind. This show is just like, all right, Let's do whatever we want. We have a thin plot. Who killed her dad? Who has the other scissor blade? Other than that, this is going to be whack. And if you guys want to see my reaction to that whackness, make sure you hit you go down to the description below. It's going to be the first 2 links. There's like a couple links I always leave down there. Sometimes one doesn't work. You guys let me know while I do maintenance on that one. The other one is usually up and running. So choose the link that works best for you. Come back for the discussion, and just get into this whack, boys. All right, that was a great episode. I feel like the silly was toned down. It was still there. It's still there. But I feel like it was toned down quite a bit for this episode. Because this, like, our swordsman, I'm sorry I did not write his name down. But man's got cocky. He got cocky. He thought like his Uchiha eyes could take on the world, and they failed him in the end. And he sewed his eyes shut, and that made him more in tune with his powers. So he's basically like Toph from Avatar. He can see the world 360 through like vibration, or at least like she can do vibration. He does it with his ears, his taste, his smell. Oh, he's Daredevil. Why did I say Toph? He's just Daredevil now. And the 2 fights we had, the first one was very quick. I was very intrigued. Like, why was it so fast? Because he's supposed to be top 4. You know, he's supposed to be so powerful. You know, yada yada, elite. I was wondering where we were going to go with this. Did not expect round 2 to be in the same episode, and my God, he got quite the power up. The Goku uniforms are interesting. I knew that. Well, wait, did we know they transform? I knew that they like transformed the user, like the kid in the first episode. He was like pretty overweight, and then he became like a super jacked tall guy when he activated his Goku uniform. So the very least they could transform the user. I don't think, or at least I don't remember them being able to transform into mechas or whatever that was. The design was interesting. It's really bulky, and they use that bulk for the animation. I loved the like the bamboo tip finger. Like he would just like eject bamboo for his fingertips and just like plummet them into like Ryoko. That was really cool. There's so many interesting designs in this show. So yeah, this guy, he's definitely just been in the background. He's definitely been like, oh yeah, or at least yeah, he looks cool. I wonder what he can do. We're like, yeah, he's just a cool looking guy. So we've seen his transformation sequence. Yep, it's a lot like Ryoko's, but a lot of more but to say in there. But yeah, other than like the whole fight thing, when Ryoko was cornering her teacher, like, what were you and Trigger doing at this place together? And the teacher is like, how do you know we were together? She has pictures of them because she sent Mako's little brother to get information. Does she know the price that she had to pay to get that information? She now has pictures of her sleeping out there, just like in her pajamas. Like, so many like throwaway jokes, so many visual gags that you can only get in a visual media. Like, if you notice it, you notice it. Just like him going, and like, I'll trade it. You got some pictures, you got some information on this, I'll trade you for something. It's better than money. And immediately, everyone there just got their phone out. Like, you want information? Here's the information. Like, they saw those pictures of Ryoko and they did the meme like, damn! Like, the slamming the credit card. That was basically the posse right there that Mako's brother found. So, when her teacher's like, Nudist Beach, that is our name, I thought I thought their organization was called the Nudist. So when he said nudist beach, I thought I thought this episode we were going to a nudist beach. That would be incredibly interesting, to say the least. How they do the censoring for that in the show. Like just 24 minutes of random sunlight shining in random places, random objects being in random places. I would love to see it. That would be so funny to see all the visual gags they do. Another visual gag, when the first time Ryoko beat this swordsman, you see Mako just going, Like, not only did Ryoko destroy him, Mako, savagery right there, savagery. He was already in a low place. You didn't need to put him even lower. So, other than all that, I have a few things about the Goku uniforms. We learned that Satsuki is planning on making more of them to give out to more student council, not presidents, but student council student club leaders, which they said that they didn't want to have too many because it'll like downgrade the quality of like the school. So is she making more to fight Ryoko? Because they did say Ryoko is a major influence in the decision making, because before she didn't want to do it because of that downgrade the quality of everyone. Like if you give everyone a 2-star Goku suit, then nobody really has anything special when they have a 2-star Goku uniform. So like, why is she making more of them? Shouldn't she want to train the ones that they already have them? Or is she planning on something, like she making her army now? I feel like she's making an army now. This show literally just had like middle schoolers fight each other in an open field. Like, didn't they say it was like 500 to 1 against Satsuki? And she did it. So there's something going on in the background. They were not in the background. They said like they wanted to take over the world or something like that. It's like this show, it's so silly. I'm just, I more. I need to know more, or I just want to watch more. And then Satsuki's Goku uniform, it's literally nailed down onto the onto a wall, whereas Ryoku's Senketsu, he's kind of like chilling. He's like, yes, I love it when you arm me. This one is like heavy duty nailed onto a wall, strapped so it can't do anything. So, and Satsuki was saying like, I wasn't prepared for that when she was in the shower. She looks sick, so I wonder if this is taking more on her than she originally thought. Because Senketsu may or may not have been built for Ryoko specifically. I'm not sure what hers was. I mean, it wasn't built for her. I think it's like a family passing down of the torch. And she may have taken a little too early. So maybe it's taking its toll on her. I don't know where they're going to take that with. Because she is still wearing it, but she hasn't transformed with it since episode 3. So I don't know what that means for her. Could it be more training? Like she beats herself up more? Like, I'm not strong enough to wear this like Ryoko wears hers all the time, nonchalantly. Mine takes way too much of a toll for me. What's wrong? Maybe something like that. Maybe she tries to go to Ryoko to like, what are you doing differently from me? I'm not sure. And then overheating. If you are skilled enough, you can literally overheat your Goku uniform and it will shut down. They had to build a new one. Or at least they had to put new life fibers into the samurai guys, because he was too much of a beast. His beastdom was what cost him the match the second time around, because it shut down, which gave Ryoko just enough time to escape. That's an interesting concept, like you can overheat this clothing. And I love that this show is not afraid of failure for Ryoko. I was thinking like, wow, she beat him really easily, just to show you how much stronger he can get. Like, she lost against Trigger. Okay, wait. First episode, she won against the boxing guy. Second episode, she won against the tennis girl. Third episode, it was a draw against Satsuki. Fourth episode was weird. This is one of the wild episodes. She neither won nor lost a punch out. She outsmarted one of the club presidents. It wasn't a punch out, so I'll say that. So I'm not going to count that as a win or lose. But episode 5, she lost against Trigger. Badly. She only lived because he had to retreat because everyone else was going after her. And he decided not to kill her. This episode was horrifying for her. It was brutal. And I'm glad that they're not afraid to shy away from that kind of failure. Her fear, her panic, we all could see that. So that's really cool that they're like allowing us to see all that. I am excited for round 2. I don't know when we'll get it, but now it's gonna be like Satsuki round 2 against Ryoko, and now this guy round 2 against Ryoko. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with all this. And if you want to see my reactions to that, lads, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. As you see, I do read them. I do read all of them. I do respond to all of them. And sometimes I respond to them in video format. So leave a comment down below. Just tell me what you thought about this episode. What did I get wrong? What did I get right? And I'll see you all next time for more.